Okay. Hello, Crystal.
Hello.
How are you?
Better.
Are
How are
you
you doing?
good?
Yes.
You've had so many changes and transitions in this last couple weeks. Are you holding up? Are things going good?
It it's going better.
Good.
It was I wouldn't say an ego death, but I think I told y'all it's like ending a toxic relationship with someone and you loved them so much that it hurt you. That type of stuff. Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you for checking on me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And it's tough and it's difficult because it's happening in the middle of all the other things going on and the book and this and that. And I know you had a lot of revelations while you were writing, and it seemed like everything was coming all at once. But
Yes.
I have to say, like, that happens to me a lot too. A lot of people don't have much, like, they just, oh, I wrote a chapter and it's done. For me, just like you, I go through a lot of, I don't know if it's awakenings really, or if it's just like periods of expansion and it's uncomfortable sometimes, but it's necessary.
Yes. And that's exactly what I'm going through. I told you I went through a tower moment with
Yeah.
my ex-husband, and it was like the writing was on the wall. We had like a snowstorm the night before we got married. When I say the universe does the absolute most to try to give you signs and the free will thing or whatever. And it's like we have these destinies we choose. And I could look back at my life a mirror and I see where I just would purposely choose the wrong path at my own detriment, like complete self-sabotage. There was this path right in front of my face that I knew was best for me. But I love him. But I love this job. But I work so hard to get here. And it's just pure ego. It's literally, and again, I don't believe in ego death. I believe in like ego healing and
Yeah.
taking those experiences with you so you can learn from them, not killing it off or whatever. And this job I had you, as I've told you, I have fought for since like 2010. And I went through a lot of hurtful things. And normal people would walk away and be like, okay, it's not worth this. I've lost organs, colons and things like that. And I finally got it. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to retire. So, so I mean, it's literally the Matrix game, the 9 to 5. Like, I could not wait to get to six figures. I knew if I got to six figures, I was gonna be comfortable. I could travel. I could have a nice retirement plan. And yeah, so I thought by being with this type of job, I was safe, I was stable until I wasn't. And I had to choose. And it was like, here it was again. My higher self was like, the path to life or the path to death. You can choose. No one's forcing you to stay here. So you either take this offer or you lose your job and lose everything all at once. And then you're stressed out and you're sick. And I had to make the right choice. And you helped me with that too. So thank you. I definitely went through a transformation period. And by this happening, I can take more time to write more books and focus on, my path and who I'm supposed to be. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so grateful.
I'm glad. I'm really glad because I know personally when I don't listen to my intuition and follow the nudges and when I can see the unfolding, but I'm kind of like resisting it, always bad things happen to me because I
Yeah.
know I should be doing something and I'm not, and I'm
Right.
purposefully avoiding my purpose. So I'm so glad that you chose not to do what I did. Because it's never nice and it's never it is always a positive experience, but it's never comfortable and pleasant, when you're going through emotional difficult times or even
Yeah.
financially difficult times. It's just, and then oh my gosh, I got myself into this mess. I shouldn't have done that. And then you start, kicking yourself in the head and then doing all that stuff. And then you need to remind yourself, oh my goodness, I'm not a victim. And, the whole thing. So I know, I know, and I'm really happy for you. I think
Thank you.
this is gonna be good for you. Like you don't need to create a false god out of that job. That
That's
job
exactly
did
what it
not
was.
provide for you. God provided for you through that job. And so God will continue to provide for you through other means.
Ashe. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
it's like that is real. People always, they just wanna, oh, my job, my boss, my this, my clients. Like, I don't give a damn. When people like they'll say, oh, do you have a full roster? Like, I was in this marketing group, Lady Boss Marketing. I was all into the Lady Boss thing, back
Of course.
a few years. We all were. And so I would get these emails all the time, and I was so involved. The lady who began the Lady Boss thing,
Hmm.
I was an admin in her group, like her Facebook group. I was an admin and I was doing the most. And then I continued getting all these emails. I just wasn't resonating anymore. And then one of these emails was like, is your calendar full? Like, do you have bookings all the time? And are you always like, um,
Stress.
I like almost as if like you should always have clients. If you don't have clients, then you're not gonna have money. And if you're not gonna have money, you're gonna be a like a scarcity mindset type thing. And I'm thinking, like, this is all BS. I don't want to sign up for this because I don't want to program myself to believe that money or abundance or sustainability comes through
Right.
clients or people or projects or whatever. It doesn't. It comes through my alignment. It comes through God. It always has, whether I've known it or not.
Hmm.
And by me choosing to believe that only through clients am I going to make an income, then I'm really cutting myself off from all the other ways God wants to provide for me. So I don't see a need to do that.
Right.
And I just cut myself off from all of those lady boss type things. I'm not saying all of them are bad. If you are into that, that's wonderful. But it's just not for me anymore. And when
No,
I
you were being a
did that,
soft girl.
oh God, you feel so free because God is going to provide for me. He always has. He always will. Why would he change his mind today of all days? Like, why? So, looking inwards and answering those questions for yourself gives you more, I don't know, room to just be you.
Yes. Yes. And I told you, wish we had time to add this to the book. This was funny. We'll do this in the next book. But the night, because I talked to you, and then that night, it's still the what if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? What if I'm making this? What if I look back and this was the wrong decision? So I had an ancestor come to me and tell me to take my family and get them off of Turtle Island. So it was very, native, Aboriginal, indigenous ancestor. And this was like before I got my passport. That's what ushered me to get my passport. So when I had that dream, got my passport, and my kids are just ready to roll out at any time. And they were like, yeah, only thing holding us back is mom. And it was just a fear of like insurance. And I know that's an American thing. I know it is, but I'm really, it's the programming and the propaganda is real. So that night, when I decided to make a decision and I was like, I submitted it, I'm laying in bed. Oh my God, you got to come to me in a dream. You got to let me know this is right, that I made the right decision. And, I'm doing the right thing because I had 7 days I didn't tell you this, but I had 7 days to cancel. So I lay in bed. I was like, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really need you right now. I can't do this by myself. I go to sleep. My ancestor shows up immediately, girl, like just a face, huge. And she said, get your family out of here. And she disappeared. And I woke up and I went, oh, heard God. I did the right. It was a reminder, like, did you forget what we told you and what you're supposed to be doing? Like, so yeah, and I tell anybody this, if you set a strong intention, because that's the faith, it's the, standing on your business, death and life are in the power of the tongue, our words have power. Obviously, it's proven science now. And it's always been science with alchemy, but we're not going to get into that, Amir. That's another podcast. Um, but I always tell people, strong faith and intention, you mean it and you say it. And if you ask your subconscious mind, if you ask God, if you ask your cells, you ask your body, show me what's wrong. Oh gosh, instantly, you'll get it. We just have to cut our mind off. We pray a lot, but we don't listen. So that's where meditation comes into it. We have to listen to get the advice, not just begging and pleading and, just filling them up with requests and then you just going about your day. It's like, no, you need to listen because all the great prophets, Muhammad, Yeshua, all the ones that came before us taught us what we're supposed to do. And instead of saying, "Oh, I'm saved," or no, listen to what their teachings told you to do. Speak. Know in your heart that God lives within you
Yeah.
and that you're protected and that you're safe.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And listening comes with taking responsibility for what you are hearing and actually
Mm,
taking those steps and taking that action. Because now you will listen, but I know personally I would do the selective hearing thing, you know?
yes.
I would pick and choose what I want to hear because when God speaks to you or spirit speaks to you through different ways, we all say it, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But sometimes you need to listen to everything so that you can have a neutral objective.
Mm,
But a lot of the time, we're not neutral when it comes to ourselves. We just want to hear the good stuff and forget about the bad stuff. And unfortunately, we live in a duality type reality. So, the good comes with the bad and the bad comes with the
yes.
good. You don't have to have a negative experience from it. It just means that there is another side to it. There's the other side
Yes.
of the coin. And regardless of what it is, you can choose how you experience it, because that is what self-empowerment is. You choose. We all have free will. No one is forcing us to do anything. um it's just the way it is. And I feel like in the spiritual community and stuff, it isn't talked about enough, where people can really be honest. And because everything cannot be rainbows and unicorns and just glitter. It's not.
Right.
It's not. There is the opposite side to that, and it's just as beautiful. Like, who said darkness should be evil or scary or this or that? If you've experienced it and you understand and you feel the growth and the empowerment and the expansion that comes from dark experiences, then you know
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Because you are made up of light and dark. But if you only know the light, you are going to be afraid when you look yourself in the mirror at 3 a.m. in the morning.
That's
Like,
the thing. Evil is in the light too. There's evil
yeah,
walking in the daytime right now. There's evil happening in the light. That's the thing. It's the separation of light versus dark stuff. Where
yeah,
dark, you rest. When it's dark, you go to
yes,
sleep. When it's
yes,
dark, you recover. They've made it
yes,
a us versus them, a yin versus yang type thing when we're one, when it
yeah,
all works together.
yeah,
And evil is just as present in the light as in the dark. And like you said, with negative experiences with life, it's how you navigate towards it. It's not like I call in the light and now I'm healed. Like, no, that you have to learn the lessons so you don't repeat them.
yeah,
And if you're like a victim, if you're, oh, everything bad happens to me, FML,
mhm,
oh, nothing ever works, you're literally speaking the curses over yourself. The devil didn't do it.
yeah,
We're doing it. We're
yeah,
hurting ourselves. It's what we believe about ourselves. So, yes, I embrace yin. I embrace the dark. I embrace all the things that they say is scary so I can heal it
yeah,
and walk in this truth. So if I do come across a negative energy, I'm not a victim. I'm not scared. And I'm not like, oh, it's going to hurt me. No, no, you have power. I am. You are power. You
yeah.
have the power to transmute anything that's not for your highest good.
Oh, yeah.
Woo.
Oh, yeah.
Girl, I
And if you
on this
think
one.
about, the ways to God, which is the title of the book, God is everything. It's
Mm,
everything. It's all that is. It's the light and the dark. So, and I see a lot of people, I'll see comments on social media, I'll see things, and people will say always like, well, why does God do evil in the world? Like, why does he allow murder and rape and wars and this and that? God loves us so much unconditionally that he gives us the free will to experience anything we want. When
yep.
we
Good or
see
bad.
murder and rape and wars, it's because as a collective consciousness, we created that because of our
Yep.
own thoughts and belief systems, because we are evil, because we don't want to look at the negative within us and say, oh, maybe I should choose something different, or maybe I should integrate this trauma that I've been running from and stop projecting it on other people, or whatever it may be. And when we start taking responsibility like that, we won't see the wars and the rape and the murder and the things that we don't want to see. It's not God doing it, it's us. And
Mm,
people are so quick to, run away. I reject all these religious type ideas and this and that because you don't resonate with the bad stuff, the negative stuff. The thing is, like I said earlier, it's duality. There has to be one thing for you to understand, accept, and even realize or see the other thing. Like if you didn't have darkness, you wouldn't even know what light is. It wouldn't matter to you. Like light is like, okay, why do I need light? Oh, because there's darkness. Oh, okay. So I can switch my light on and have light in a dark room. Okay, I get it now. But if you have light all the time, you don't understand what it's for. You don't know how to use it.
right.
And so it's silly. I see these things and it's like I don't even want to get into, you know, writing long essays on Facebook to someone because I see some weird thing. It's so I just wish everyone the best, on their own journeys. Find your way
Same.
and do it in a way that feels good for you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you about the scapegoating. I talk about that in the book too. How we don't want to face ourselves. We don't
Yeah.
want to face like I said, the evil that we also have in us. And we all do. We think messed up thoughts, and people that say, "No, I am just love and light. I just laugh, because those are the people that attack me in the comments. Like it's either really, really religious people that says I'm a demon, I'm gonna drag people to hell, or it's the spiritual people who are just, love and light and I do no wrong. And I just call on Archangel Michael and Yeshua. And it's just like, but I knew a lot of those people, those type of light workers that would judge people and the evil and the dark and da, da, da. I knew them personally. And I promise you, they're humans. They're not just Pleiadians. And a lot of us fell out because I was getting judged and they were coming for me saying I was too dark. And I felt like I told you, I felt like I was in church again. I talk about in the book, like I felt like I was back in church. Like I'm not good enough here. I'm not good enough there. So I just said to all of it, like, I am God having a human experience. Yes, I am crystal in the flesh. Like I came to be crystal. But the essence that lives in me is God, the most high, supreme consciousness. I had to learn that. A book didn't teach me that. That was brought to me in a vision. And since knowing this, I had to do shadow work and I had to face myself and, write down all the funky stuff that you know about you. People will tell you to your face, but when you put it down yourself and you face yourself, can't blame the devil. And I remember when I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop blaming the devil. Obviously, this is all me, you know, from programming, being programmed for fear and what's bad. And this is the devil and these are demons and blah blah blah. And it's the woman's fault. It's woman is the original sinner, that shit. And sorry guys, I'll cuss on here sometimes. I'll try to say real bad words. But yeah, facing myself, seeing all the effed up parts about me. And I told you on the group, I remember when I dropped like some hot coffee one day, and I was like, "The devil!" Oh, the devil didn't do it. I did. I did that. It's just that silly. You're so used to blame the devil, or you do something bad. You're like, "Well, thank God I'm covered, and I'm saved." That's scapegoating. You're scapegoating God now. And the whole time, again, you're God, you're a free will agent, you can do what you want, but until you take accountability and become present and just see how you talk to yourself, your self-talk, how do you say stuff about yourself? Like you drop something, oh, I'm so stupid. No, you're not. You drop something, it's a mistake. Like calm down. But that's what we've told ourselves since we were small children, because you drop something, your parents scream at you like you like murdered somebody. It's crazy, and they whoop you or whatever. And it's like, it's not that serious. I just dropped something. It's not that big of a deal to say, be careful. You could have cut yourself. So it's just all programming from like the trauma your parents had and it goes back generations and generations. So it's just unlearning that and learning to heal
Yeah.
and see yourself as your brain is a supercomputer, as I always say. Get the malware out, the viruses, the programs, and you program it for the reality you deserve.
Yeah.
Life is going to hurt you, but it's how you navigate through that the trying times because we are co-creators in this reality, like you said. So how do you navigate through that? Is how you come out of it.
Yeah. When you said that we are, or you are, God having a human experience through Crystal. And when I figured that out or understood what that meant, it was a game changer for me because for the longest time, I believe I was just physical. There was only the physical part of it, right? I knew that I had thoughts and emotions and all these things that are non physical, but I didn't know how to place it somewhere where it made sense in my mind. But I also didn't realize at the time I couldn't understand it because as a human, I have limitations. Now, limitations is not a bad thing, it's not a bad word. It just means I now have the ability to be physical because being physical is a limitation, right? It's not a bad thing. I'm alive. Um, I exist. So when I figured that out, like, oh shit, I am this avatar and my uniqueness, which is everything about me, um, how I grew up, my conditioning, my limitations, my belief systems, everything that makes me me becomes a filtering system. So when God works through me, it's through those filtering systems, which means that no one else can have the same experience I have. I don't
Mm,
know what it's like to be Crystal. You will never know what it's like to be me. And that is what makes us so perfect in this whole
mm,
mosaic, this whole tapestry, this whole all that is thing, because it's each of us and our uniqueness. When it comes together, it's like each puzzle fits perfectly. But it will only fit if you are exactly who you need to be. I cannot pretend to be like you. I can watch you and I can mimic you and I can act like you but it's not going to make me you. So,
right.
and I think that is something we all struggle with at some point in our lives where we don't know who we are. And
Mm,
we kind of want to pretend to be someone else, or we look up to others and then we want to mimic who they are. And a lot of people say, fake it till you make it. I don't like that saying anymore. They'll say, find someone you admire and then just do what they do or copy their essence. You cannot do that because you are holding yourself back from being who you truly are. You won't even find your own gifts and your own
mm,
purpose and your own anything if you're trying to be someone else. And that is
mm.
what makes you so unique. God is working through all of us. He is there pouring his undivided attention through each of us. But
Yes.
you too busy looking somewhere else,
Right.
and it's
Yeah.
it's it is what it is. This is part of the journey. But when I figured that out, it was like, wow, I couldn't go backwards once I knew that.
Right. I agree. The because it is a thing. Fake it till you make it, and I get why they say it, but you're absolutely right. Instead of mimicking someone, you embody who you already are. The healing, the wealth, all that is already in you. Breaking generational curses, all that ability is in you. You just have to tap into it. So it's becoming like I want to be wealthy. I want to be successful. I want to make enough to where I can have posterity and I can have trust funds for my future generations, because, we can't, they say you can't take it with you, but you are wealth. You take all the lessons with you. So it's becoming that your future avatar is becoming your higher self. It's becoming that person who you're supposed to be. And again, like you said, we have to and listen and learn and be present because we're so focused on the past that we keep that energy open and going and it just keeps rehurting you. You have to close that chapter. I see past things like seasons now. I see certain relationships that I used to be devastated over as lessons and seasons. Like Amira said, it takes the victim out of it. And once you take the victim out of it, you take your power back. And in order to take your power back, you just have to stand on business. It's like, all right, all the stuff I've done, I appreciate the lessons. That didn't work. Doing that stuff does not work for me. That hurts me. So let's not do that anymore. You stop being codependent and you stop, looking for yourself and other people. Because if you're not healed, you will attract unhealed people. If you're codependent, you will attract people who control you and just, I mean, it's just everything that you really don't want for yourself. So I just tell people, especially if you've been hurt, if you're coming out of a bad relationship or job, any relationship, is you take time for yourself and you review your past in a loving way, not in a why me, why did I do that, why did it take so, no, okay, that's done. You review the past with love and you go, okay, these are the reasons why I did this, obviously. Why did I stay with this job? Not why me. Why did I stay with this job so long? Because of the programming of six-figure success, da, 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 knowing I have an LLC. Why did I stay in this relationship so long when, oh my God, the red flags were there? And you write it down. And he's like, okay, so these are the red flags you see. If they show this in you, if you see a negative person, not again, all people have negative in them. But what I'm saying is when they start attacking your well being and they start attacking your mental, your emotional health, they start in this little jabs. It's never, I know we joke and play with each other, and having fun in a relationship is key to me. I love laughing. But when they say things that are very hurtful and they go, oh, I'm just playing, you're so sensitive. Write that down. And every time they do it, and then the next thing you know, you realize you're in a trauma bond. And I know the spiritual community are like twin souls this, twin flames that. There's only one. That's not true. I was in the light worker community when I came out of religion. And when me and my ex-husband out, ex-husband, I truly felt that was my twin flame. Like, there's only one, right? So I'm crying in the shower. I'm devastated. And I was telling God, he was my person. And how could this happen? And he's the only one. And God is my witness, says this. Why are you limiting me to one person? Like, I cannot be limited to one person. And God showed me the souls and the twin flames and, soulmates and all the past life people. And I mean, not even in this reality or dimension, but all in it, like you. Like, there's so many people that have the same oversoul because from one source, but meaning we all came here with the same soul and we came here to have an experience in all timelines and dimensions and realities and spaces in between, not just one person. Like, oh, you blew it with your twin flame. It's over for you. You failed the test. Like, come on, guys. We are here to have an experience, not just be miserable, not just feel limited and like stuck in a certain situation. We're limited here with our bodies, but our spirits are infinite. Your healing is infinite. And if we keep focusing on the hurt, that's all that's going to manifest. That's my experience. When you focus on the abilities and what could happen, that is the magic of life. That is you manifesting. It may not happen right now, but if you focus on like what you want for your life and you focus on the healing and the positive and what could be, that is what's going to create your future self that's already waiting for you. You just have to tap it in now.
Yeah. Yeah. And to add to that, even just looking at what's already working for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so my daughter, she's 7 years old now, and she's obsessed with the human body. Every day she wants to learn something new. What is blood made of, and how does the heart work, and how does a baby grow from a seed? Because I told her it starts as a seed to a baby, and she is every day she wants to learn something different. So I remember a lot of stuff from biology, but YouTube these days, like you don't even need university. You can like just YouTube something and then you can be like a doctor. I'm joking, don't do that, but you know what I mean. So I was watching this thing with her about like the bones and all the stuff. And I'm thinking, no, it wasn't the bones. It was about the cardiovascular system, how the heart works, pumps blood all over the body, oxygenates and deoxygenates, and how like that whole thing works so perfectly. And I was just like, she's obviously looking at it like, ooh, this is interesting. And wow, look at that. And all these things. And they're using a lot of like animations to show all the stuff. But I'm thinking, like, wow, this is happening inside me right now. If something was just wrong a little bit, I would be dead. Like, this is insane. And I just went into like this feeling of gratitude just came over me, like, oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you that I am alive and that my organs are working and that I'm perfectly fine and healthy and everything is just as it should be. There are people who are literally dying right now. There are people who don't have arms and legs, like, and it's just so. I remember when I was younger and I would, have the biggest fit over dumb things. Like I had a friend who would make fun of me in primary school because she said I had big lips. So she would make fun of me. And now, like, everyone is just getting lip injections. And I'm like, I cannot believe that I hurt myself and use hurtful words on myself when I was younger because of something so stupid like the size of my lips or,
Right.
like stupid things. And it's just, I'm so happy that I didn't internalize those things to the point where I have trauma that is unhealed so that I can be and see patterns in my children and be like, oh, hang on, you are perfect the way you are. Don't worry about that. Like because it happens. They see other kids and oh, why is my friend's hair yellow? And it's like it is what it is. Everyone is different. If everyone looked the same, what a boring world that would be. If everyone was the same, what a boring world that would be. We wouldn't have new things happening because everyone is the same and thinks the same and does the same. So
Mm.
then why bother making all of the people? We should just have one person because it is the
Mm.
same, you know? And maybe there is a reality where it's just one person. Um, and if you think about it, it's probably like the first dimension. If I can, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to think about something that big and make it this small. But that's what I imagine it would be. It would be all that is not knowing itself, just being all that
Mm.
is. I don't know
Yeah.
how else to explain what I'm seeing. But yeah, we're not there, we're here. And this is our reality now. And it's beautiful and it's diverse and it's exciting. And we get to do exciting things. And we get to love, we get to age, we get to experience, we get to change and be different. So that's
Yes.
fun.
Yes. And I wish our parents would have taught us stuff on how to have self love and learn and stuff like that. But we get to teach our children. So, yeah, my boys, which are absolutely beautiful, beautiful boys, like, oh my goodness. They're now 21 and 30. One will be 22 in July. But they, for a few times in their life, they dealt with mean girls, like picking on them and stuff. So I just told them the truth at a very young age. I'm like, this is what's happening. These are why these little girls are acting like this. And if a little girl says something mean to you and hurts your feelings, you do not have to tolerate that. So yeah, this little girl was being mean to my son and picking on him, and he finally came back at her and just let her know and shut her down. And you have to let a bully know. I don't care what sex they are. I don't care. A bully is a bully. It just takes one person, and kids are mean. I mean, kids have no filter. They just will tell you what they're thinking. So yeah, you have to give the love to your children at home, because when you release them out into the world, they have to have that confidence within them, and if you don't teach it first, well, that's when all the meanness attacks them. So yeah, you did the right thing. And your baby is inky. I swear, your baby is like Anubis. Your baby is a doctor. Your baby is like, she has the soul of a healer. And she's like, I ain't mommy. I have to know these things. Like,
Yeah, she
why am I thinking of it? And I love that you're encouraging her, because most parents like, oh, don't play, be a kid. Like, oh, feed. Let me just go ahead and help my baby and let
yeah.
her start her journey, because yeah, she
She's
came fresh,
definitely
didn't
into
she?
something. I don't know what it is, but
She's
I'm
old
excited to
soul.
see it unfold, I'll
That
be there for her and I'll watch her and I'll always cheer her on and help her where I can. But I don't want to involve myself to the point where I
No, you
sway
just
her decisions,
support.
you know?
Yes,
So
yes.
I get
It's
involved
wonderful.
because it's fun and it's like it's really interesting to watch. It's very interesting. But also one thing is like because I think about this a lot. Like how do you teach your kids about who they really are? Because she goes to school and at her school it's mostly Christian based, so her teachers are all
Mhm.
Christian and they teach a lot about the Bible and Jesus, and that's wonderful. I love that for her. But also I tell her when she is at home she is allowed to believe whatever she wants, and other
Mhm.
people have other beliefs too, and those beliefs are perfectly acceptable as well.
Yes.
And you can choose to believe whatever you want. Like there's no limitation. It's not only this, it's not only that. Everything is okay. You are allowed to
Mm.
explore and see what else is out there and feel into what feels good for you. So I think she's still a bit young to understand what that means because she hasn't been exposed as much to other religious and spiritual belief systems as much as she is at school. But I do think sometimes like, how do I tell her that she is just a vessel that God is working through? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do I find the words? And I know I can just say it like that, but will she I want her to figure it out for herself so that she can know what that means instead of me just saying this is what it is and then she internalizes like, oh, my mom said this so it must be true. I don't want her to believe it like that. I want her to know what she is saying and understand it for herself because of her own experiences. So it's like I always like encourage her to have her own experiences, but she's still a baby. And it's like she has her whole life to figure all this out, but she is at the same time so progressive.
Oh
So
yeah,
I
she's an
don't
old
know.
soul. She probably already knows. You
She's
can probably
she
tell
knows.
her. I mean, there's some children. Yeah, you have to like gently, lead them to love themselves and teach them to be present and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I was very Christian with my kids, and I Bible beat them. But knowing, but we're all fine now. We're fine. We're all we're okay now. We're on the same level. But and it's funny, we all came out of religion at the same time, girl. Like it all happened. It was his best friends, my two sons. My oldest one was in Florida. I was still in West Virginia, and it was literally like spontaneous. So when your higher self is ready, it's like I thought I was behind. And no, it wasn't. It just wasn't. I had an experience I had to go through. With your baby, she seems like a very, very old soul, like super old. What you can tell her is about her energy, and that she has a precious energy that lives within her, that is spirit and soul, and that she is her this is her vessel, this is her temple, and to take care of herself. And like when you feel upset or you feel stressed out, just deeply breathe like from your gut, and just hold it at the top of your head and act like you're releasing that funky energy, that mean energy that's making you feel icky. Just release it out of your head, and give it back to God. And yeah, I mean, just little ways you can get her, but I feel like she's kind of there. I think
I
she
know.
might be.
I know what you mean. Like the other day she was asking me and her dad about soulmates. She's like, "What? Who's your soulmate?" And I'm
See, they're
like,
not teaching that in Christian school. I promise you,
she
they're not teaching.
because she said, "Is her dad my soulmate?" So I said, "Yeah." She said, well, what about me? I said, well, you my soulmate too, I would assume. I don't know everything about my oversoul, but I assume. And she's like, what's an oversoul? I'm like, well, if imagine a hand being an oversoul and all the fingers, individual incarnations. And she's like, what's an incarnation? And I'm like, it's your humanness. You are human now.
She's
And
already
she's
asking
like, oh,
you.
okay. And then she'll go about playing with her dolls or whatever. And then I'd be like, why? What? Why is
It's like,
she
well, ask
doing
about the
this?
birds and the bees. What are we doing?
So it's
She'll be like,
something,
Mom, what dimension are we in currently? Like, oh, all right, little girl, you already know who you are.
you
I
know,
just
I
want to
don't
ask
know
my
where she
question.
gets the stuff from. But at the same time, I do know where she gets the stuff from because I'm always talking about the stuff. And it's like, I'm open and I discuss openly. And if you have something else to say that's different from mine, I want to hear it so that I can integrate it if it's something I'm missing. So it's like it's so good. But I cannot wait until she's older so that we can actually have a conversation. Now
Oh
she
my
just
God.
asks a bunch of questions and then she doesn't say anything back. And I'm like, what are you thinking? Tell me, what do you think? And then she just looks at me like, she doesn't want to tell me anything. And I'm like, I wish you could tell me. But maybe she just doesn't have the words yet to describe the things that she knows, the vocab.
Does she ever
So
talk about like past lives or anything like that? Like, mommy, I used to be da 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 da.
yeah, she does.
See? So
Yeah.
yeah, you encourage her with that. Back in the
Yeah.
day, with religion, even though reincarnation is in the Bible, it really is several times. But it's like the pastors are like, that's the devil and to be absent from, they just beat us
Yeah.
down with it. So I don't know about South Africa, but here in America, girl, especially in the southern states, it is the Bible.
Oh my God. But sometimes
So
I don't know if she's serious because she's so funny. She makes so many jokes. She would say sometimes, like, I remember when I used to be a bicycle. Like,
but I mean, maybe she's not understanding like what she's seeing. You know what I mean? Like,
it's just funny.
oh
I
my
never know
God,
when she's serious. So,
girl, I had a friend who her daughter was telling her things, and she's like, "Stop! Don't do that, Lonnie. You're scaring me. It's scaring me. Don't do that." And her daughter would be like, "Mommy, I remember that I used to be a lawyer." And then she was like, Lana, you're only, Sissy, I'm talking about your business. She's like, but you're only, at the time, I think she was like 4 years old or something like that. And she was like, no, mommy, I used to be a lawyer at a firm when I was here last time. And then one time they were on their way, she was on her way to drop her off at like a daycare or something. And she said, there used to be a gas station because they're on the interstate. There used to be a gas station over here. And this was like long, 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 long time ago. She was not born when this happened. And my friend was like, how do you know that? She's like, oh, I remember. I remember because I used to go there when I was a lawyer. And then I told my friend, I was like, well, just let her talk and let her talk to you about it. And, if you want to ask her questions, see if you can ask her because she wants to talk about it. So go ahead and just, encourage her to get that out because that is something that she's trying to release. So she's like, well, what kind of attorney were you? She's like, oh, I was a good one. And then she's like, well, what happened to you? Like, what happened when you were an attorney? And then she's like, I don't want to talk about it. And she got real sad. So some trauma came out. And then Nicole was like, well, if you ever want to talk about it, I'm here. You can tell me. And she clammed up. And I hear stories like this all the time where the kids remember being on like in World War II or that one kid, everyone's seen this one. He remembers building a ship, like a World War II ship. He remembers being like the architect of it and stuff. So it's just like instead of saying, no, that's your imagination, da, 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 let them talk, let them get it out. Who cares if that's their imagination? Your imagination is what helps you create and manifest and do all these things. And society has told us that that's childish and don't do that. Grow up. They put you in a school with four freaking walls and they condition you to be a worker and you're stuck there for 8 to 9, 10 hours a day. These little kids, And then they wonder why they can't sit still and why there's ADD and they're so hyper fixated and everything's rushed. And so, yeah, you just teach her, hey, this is the best advice I can give you as a mother. Take time for yourself, quiet your mind, deep breathe, and just be good to yourself and love on yourself because you're going to need it in this society, how they have everything programmed here. So, yeah, I'm happy about your baby. I'm excited for you too. I'm gonna be like this too. What is going on now?
Yeah, I will keep you posted because it's exciting. Every day is exciting. So I'll keep you posted. Do you miss having young kids?
You want to hear this? These are big, tall, furry men now, girl. I'm 5'10" and they are taller than me. These are big men. And I swear sometimes when they're together, because we were all out together yesterday, and they're talking and laughing, the boys, because there's an 8-year difference, I see them as little kids. It'll hit me. And they're fresh faced, they're sweet, they're just innocent. And it's like no matter how old they get, you see your baby.
Yeah.
Not now, Reginald. My cat is crying. So yeah, I just I don't know if they're going to have kids. I don't know if I'm gonna be a grandma ever. I don't know. Right now they're saying no, but I'm just enjoying them and I'm happy. And I'm like you, even though they are of that age, I'm excited about their future. Like I
Mm.
know these boys are going. Phew. So yeah, it's just fun seeing them take the steps and to get to their higher self. I'm just super proud of them, girl. They're
Yeah.
the reason. They're my reason. They're my reason why I'm still fighting to stay here and to go
Yeah.
through what I go through.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it feels good to have good kids, and like it's not all me. Like I cannot take credit, for my kids being so amazing, but they
they
are.
came here amazing, and that's why I tell
Yeah.
people they're like, "Congratulations, mom."
I
I wasn't a
I
grandma,
always
so it's
feel
all them.
awkward when people say stuff like that. Like, oh, congratulations, your kid is so perfect. And I'm like, I
It's
don't have
them.
anything to do with that. You don't know
I tell
me.
people all the time.
You
Yeah, I tell them. I'm like, they came here
they are
great. I don't.
perfect despite me. Let's just put it that way. Because you don't know me.
I really see them as my guardian angels, girl.
Yeah.
I call them lightning and thunder. That's who they are. They are
Oh
like my
gosh.
right hand men. They are angels walking the planet, like literally just they are my gifts. I swear God was like, she's gonna have a rough life. Let me give her something, that's gonna and they came and I like that you guys are perfection. Like I'm so proud of them and they're so proud of me. And like we are our hype men. We're always just dapping each other up like homies. Like they and
Oh,
that's another
so
thing. Your
good.
children will turn into your best friends. Well, oh my God. And you'll see it happen. Like
Yeah.
she'll be not now, Reginald, you'll wait. You'll see her transform into preteens, and it's gonna be kind of annoying, but you went through it, so you're gonna work through it all, and then she'll become a teenager, and you'll see her go through all the stages, and you'll see yourself. You're like, oh, and you'll cry with her because there's things you can't fix, and you're gonna go through all these stages, and then one day she's gonna be your best freaking friend. You're gonna cut up, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna hang out, you're gonna have coffee together. It's just gonna be and that's you just raising her to be a productive human so she can take care of herself in this society and
Yeah.
then you get to see the gift happen and it's like so yeah that takes away from the missing them as small you see them grow up and you're like
Yeah.
it's so exciting I'm so excited for
And
them.
I think God looks at us like that. Yeah. I
Yes,
think I
yes, when we
think that's
finally
what
get it.
you see, that feeling like you're just beaming with pride and joy and just so much love for these little things that you have a part in creating, but it's still its own being. It's like,
Yes,
oh my gosh, I'm bursting with just love for you. I think that's how God sees us.
that's exactly
And
it.
that's
And
what
that's when they're like,
it's
oh, you're
about.
not worthy of God's love. I put this in the book, guys. We're not worthy of God's love. Yes, we are. That is a program from the bad guys who are, they say money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
That's not in the Bible, by the way. It's called the love of money is the root of all evil. But I'll take it up a notch. Um, it is the lust of power to me is the root of all evil. So these people who know who they know their God, having a human experience. They took it from the Gnostics. They know the truth, and they've taken power over humanity. And now they've made this religion to puppet string you, make you feel that you're not worthy of your father's love or your mother's love. That's weird. Like,
Yeah.
no, Reggie.
I
But yeah, you're
think
worthy.
I think what it is, if you were truly not worthy, you just wouldn't exist. You know? Like because
Imagine God hating themselves. That's weird.
yeah, because number one, I don't think God has time to make mistakes. Like, I don't think so.
Right.
So
God's not petty. That's
yeah,
human stuff.
like I don't see God having the time or even the capacity to make a mistake. I don't think any of us are mistakes. And if
None.
you were not worthy, you just wouldn't exist because you wouldn't be a thought in God's mind, therefore you wouldn't exist. You know? So I think it's all just human stuff.
It
It's
is
human
human stuff.
stuff. We make the stuff up and then we
We
believe
do.
it to the point where we don't know where it came from, and then we make it a thing. And we tell more people about the thing, and then they make it a thing. And now there's this
It's just a
whole,
passed on lie that they've turned
yeah,
into a law over their life. If you believe
yeah,
it, and I tell people all the time, just like Amir said, you have your own experiences. You came here with your own experience. You are the universe. It's you, and everything outside of you is your universe. I don't know all your friends. I don't know all your family. That is your universe, just like you don't know all my friends and family. We're all connected to source, but we have our own realities that we have to navigate in this life. So when I say things like, there's evil in the light, what I'm trying to get you to understand is we are energy. So it's more than light and dark. You are an energy being having a human experience. My cat is I call him wedging out because his name's Reginald, but he's tripping right now. Hold on, Wedge. We're almost done. But baby talking to him on the podcast. This is hilarious. So as an energy being, you have come here with a purpose. And unfortunately, there are people who know their purpose and they know they're not going to hell and they know God doesn't hate them. They know they have the power to do what they want. That's what I'm telling you. You have the power to create the life you deserve. You cannot control other people's ridiculous stuff, but you can respect them where they are and what they believe. Like you believe what you want to believe. If you believe you are a unicorn, and that is on you, boo boo. But what I'm telling you is you have the power to create the life you want. You don't have to be miserable. And once you get that, you're golden. And you know how to navigate through negativity and heart pain, like hardships and heartache and things like that. So sorry, my cat is really crying right now. But yeah, just take control of your life. Take your power back
yeah,
and start over. It's fine. You're not behind.
100%. I couldn't have said it better. And on that note, the book will be out not August, June. I'm so sorry.
June.
I'm thinking about my due date for my birth. Is it
When's
August?
the due date, love?
August this year. I don't the exact date keeps shifting, so I cannot say it's specifically this day, but it's gonna be in August. So you'll
Okay,
know.
gotcha. All right. It's gonna be a
You'll
Leo or
know.
Virgo. We'll figure it out.
Oh my God. Ah,
You're like, whoosh. You'll
so
be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
always fine. I'm gonna be
Always.
Anywho, the book will be out June 28th. On paperback and hardcover. It's already out on pre-order for the ebook, and that's on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. So, again, thank you so much, Crystal. I had such a good time with
Thank you.
you today.
Thank you. And thank you for the patience
Yeah.
and the technical difficulties.